Got it. Well, welcome everybody to WWW. Yeah, Worldwide Wrestling. No, not really. This is
Even
Weekly
better than
Wellness
that.
Wednesday, Weekly Wellness Wednesday. And Robert and I have been sponsoring and kind of hosting this for the last 6-7 months. And we have met every age group and every health journey you can imagine, from youth all the way to, us elderly people. Anyway, we want to welcome the real VIPs to this call. I know those that are watching now and may be watching later, you're the VIPs. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us, to hear some amazing stories, some real raw stories of what it's like hunting for health. I'll just put it that way, because some of us have a tougher time finding it because of gene pool, because of circumstances, maybe habits and things that didn't serve us so well, and we end up being wherever we are. And then what's really fun is with the introduction of super nutrition, has it made a difference? In other words, before they ever heard of Zalevo, where were they? Now that they found it, what's changed? And the fun thing is the miracle that happens about 98% of the time when you put the right things in. Mm-hmm. This body, I'd like to just share right up front. By the way, my name is Jim Rhodes. And today we have a special second fun Heidi taking the place of Robert, who she is so graciously running this whole show. And I am so grateful she has that technology. But we have two very, very special guests, a mother and her daughter. And that would be Cindy and Jesselyn. Thank you for both being here. But again, back to all of those who are watching, you are the VIPs on this line. Mm-hmm. The reason we're doing this is sharing the fact that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it doesn't need to be a train. Mm. It can actually be the goal that you probably have thought about, prayed about, and hoped that would hit, which is your own good health. It is so fun when you're my age, for instance, to walk into a room and remember why I walked in. And that is one of the beautiful things that has happened to me with these super nutritional foods that we're putting in our bodies. Our bodies can be the miracle they're supposed to be if we give them the tools they need and the building blocks to do the miracle work.
Magic.
They're self-repairing. They are totally regenerating. And with that, I will turn some time over to Heidi to do some interviewing here. These two beautiful ladies.
I would love to share a little bit about both of these beautiful ladies here. We have Jesselyn, who is 24 years old. She was homeschooled for the majority of her school years, right? About 8 school years, I believe. She's married to Reeve, her adorable husband, who is a full-time youth pastor. You guys are adorable. She has a dog who she trained as her service dog until she got a service human. Ha ha ha.
Good trade. Trade up, always trade up.
Yes, right. But she's coming to us from Santa Cruz, California, where she works full-time as in a medical facility doing social services. She loves to sing and personal train and work out and act. All kinds of amazing things. Many talents here, this beautiful young lady. She also likes photography and serves in the church, the youth ministry in the church, and runs worship pretty often there. And then little about Mama, Cindy. She's 53 years young. I love that. She's been married for 33 years, of which every year of that, she's also been a registered nurse. So thank you for your service, Cindy. She is currently working part-time as an IV home infusion nurse. And Cindy loves the outdoors, camping, fishing, traveling, and the travels are many. You and I can both relate to that, my friend. But her husband and her plan to retire, hopefully in the next couple of years, and build their business abroad while traveling and visiting national parks and things like that. So to get started, ladies, I just appreciate so much both of your guys' story, because both of you have your individual stories, and then Cindy, just as a mother, and I'm going to get super emotional because this is so personal and raw and real to me. But I would just really, I think, start to, or want to ask, maybe Jesselyn, just kind of what your journey was like, kind of every day. And then Cindy, I would love to go into just what that was like for you, but not only in your own health and struggles there, but just kind of Jesselyn and what a day-to-day was like for her over, the number of years that things just kind of progressively got worse. And then have you share not only about your journey, but also what that was like as a mother experiencing that, battling that for your daughter. So Jesselyn, the floor is yours, my dear. Tell us a little bit about, just what things were like for you in your health and wellness prior to being introduced to Zalevo.
It's almost hard to explain it. Some parts of it I feel like were so awful of how my body was feeling when I was growing up that I blocked it out. I don't want to. Oftentimes I forget where I came from, and I really do. Sometimes I just forget where I came from because I've come so far in just a short period of time with these products that I don't remember what it was like. I can't off the top of my head be like, I felt this way yesterday, because that's not my life anymore.
What a blessing.
But when I was growing up, I remember feeling so different than everyone else. I was so insecure because I was so different than all of my friends. I wasn't normal because of how my body was attacking me. And I like how Jim Rhodes said, your gene pool.
Thanks, gene pool.
Oh, my darn gene pool. It was just so hard for me. I was in so much discomfort every single day. I don't remember a time when I was younger and growing up that my body wasn't uncomfortable in some sort of way during the day. I would wake up nauseated, go to bed nauseated. I wake up in the middle of the night. I hardly slept. And then that caused me anxiety because of the way that it was making me feel, and so worried about my body. What's going to happen? What's the next day going to be like? What's my future going to be like if I keep feeling this way? Am I ever going to be okay? And every single day made me feel more and more insecure and made me hate my body. And it gave me so much self-worth problems. And let me tell you, my mom was there through all of it. From such a young age into my teen years, 16 years old, curled up on the bathroom floor, still calling my mom to come sit with me in the middle of the night. And she went through all of that with me. She went through every doctor's visit, every surgery, every emotion that I went through that was happening to me. And she was there through all of it. And let me tell you, she never stopped hunting for something that would help me. One health and wellness after the other, one product after the other, one journey after the other. She's like, try this. And everything she did was to help me feel better. And that's when Zalevo came along. I was on my last strand. I was like, I literally can't do this anymore. I can't hold a part-time job. I have no energy to do what I love to do. And I'm a personal trainer, and I can't even work out the way I would like to because I can't keep up with myself and the desires of my heart because of the way that my body. And she goes, well, this is the next thing, right? And she's
Last ditch effort, right? Last ditch effort.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, mom, I'll literally try anything, and I mean, she's been doing this my whole life, but she brought this to me and she was a little bit more excited about it than everything else she's ever brought to me before. And I was like, oh, really thinks this is going to work for me. And it did.
Mhm.
In 1 month, it worked for me.
Mhm.
Where did you start to feel the change? Like how, I mean, I'm sure it was a progression, but within, days, weeks, that first month, like how did you know, like, this is different? When did you know?
When I slept through the night and didn't wake up because of nausea or my body feeling uncomfortable, I slept throughout the night for like a whole week. And I thought, well, maybe there's something I'm taking or eating that's changing this because I'm sleeping.
Mhm.
And then 3 months into it, I got off of a medication that I was on since I was 15 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So
And
the doctor at this point said you can walk away from all of those prescriptions?
I walked to, no. But
Just to stay compliant, I am sure he is grateful that you were able to leave them behind.
exactly. I walked away from that confident knowing I didn't need these things to manage how I was feeling anymore.
Wow.
And since then, I've had no problems with it. And I haven't had to call my doctor. Nothing. My doctors are even blown away. And
I'm sure there would be.
Mhm.
but within the first week I was sleeping, and I strongly believe, as all of us know, sleep helps your body recover quicker than anything else ever does.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
fact lacking sleep for so many years, I was able to sleep and wake up feeling recovered. And
Amazing.
body was feeling like it was healing exponentially faster than ever before. I've always had problems with acne. And all of a sudden, I stopped having as many breakouts. And I thought, well, that's really interesting. And then all of a sudden, my weight dropped so fast. And that's not even something that I was shooting after. I just wanted to feel good. And then before I know it, 2 months pass and I don't even remember, I was down like 2 pant sizes. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And then I had time and energy to work out. So I started working out and then I started gaining muscle mass and I started having energy. I would go to work and I would come home from work and I would work out. And then I would do the same thing the next day and the day after that and the day after that. And it was like this steady progression. But through that first week, I had good sleep and I was dropping weight so fast. So I made my husband, he like grabbed my waist and hugged me and he's like, where'd you go?
Okay, I want to come back. I want to wrap things up with like where and how you are today and how your life has changed. But in the interim, I want to go to your mama here. And Cindy, I want you to share just a little bit about, because I know you have had or faced, we all face challenges in our health, but not only a little bit about your journey, but just what that was like as a mother, and I know just, praying for an answer and
Yes.
hoping that something would show up
All
and
the time.
trying and researching and digging, I just want to hear that from you and what that was like.
So just to go back to that, it was so hard, and Gary's right here with me. You guys can't see him, but for both of us, it was so hard to watch our daughter go through this. And she's right. I tried everything, from the time she was little on up. I've always tried to, just help her to feel better. And we even juiced one time for 12 weeks in a row, and she lost down to a size 0, but she still had all the same issues going on within her gut. It didn't change anything. And that's when they had to start her on certain injection medications. But so, fast forward to here she is now married, and I'm just still watching her struggle, like just with, anxiety, depression, just because of how her body felt, watching her, gain weight, to probably the heaviest that she had ever been, but just noticing her energy and just things just not good, and just wondering how she was going to be able to hold a job and things like that. So, then all of a sudden, when I wasn't expecting it, Zalevo came into my life. And this was after about 2 weeks of really sitting down every morning and just praying to God. And I didn't realize what I was praying for, but I was just, praying and seeing it as an already accomplished fact, and thanking him for these amazing people coming into my life, new, associates, new wellness partners, new people that I could share with, and because I was with a previous adventure. And then all of a sudden I was introduced to Zalevo, and I was like, what? No way. I don't even want to hear about another product or another business. Like, I'm a leader in this other company, and I'm never even considered in a million years of leaving it. And I'm a very loyal person. But all of a sudden I just started thinking, and I just heard, like, God, just his reassurance that, this is the right step to take. So I took a huge step of faith, and it was very hard at first, but took a huge step of faith and switched over to Zalevo. And first of all, I ordered it for Gary and I. We started putting it in our bodies. And for me, going through the hormonal stages that women go through, I was experiencing pretty much the worst digestive symptoms, all the bloating and gas after every food. I was eating enzymes with every meal, just to be able to not feel so miserable all the time. And, it had gained some weight, not a lot, but a little bit, because I've always tried to manage that. And, but just to feel better and to sleep better, and to have less of those hormonal symptoms that we have, that to me was a huge win. And I started feeling all that right away. I'd say within the first 2 weeks or so, I really noticed, the gut issues correcting themselves. I called Jesselyn, got her started on it, and she was so I was surprised how easy she switched over. I think it's because she's just like, okay, mom, she trusted me. You've got something new. Let's go for it. It couldn't hurt. And then so to watch and just to see the change was so wonderful. And I knew then, and I thank the Lord for bringing Zalevo into my life for my daughter. Because I could have, I love these products more than anything, but I love them because the way it has helped my daughter. And I just watched her transform so quickly. And I couldn't even believe it was her. I'd go visit and I'm like, where did that muscle come from? And I didn't know you had the, and just the energy, and watching her workouts and seeing her with her husband, she had more confidence. Her marriage was just flourishing and getting better. I could just see, because of her confidence level, and what a difference that made. So that was my first part of entrance into Zalevo.
I have to interject something. Being a father of 8 and a grandfather of 24, the only one that suffers more when it's your child or your grandchild, when they're going through such tough times and you're doing everything you can and nothing seems to be working, is the mother. Truly.
Yes.
That is so true.
It was
in
hard.
a heartbeat, you're trading places, but you can't.
Yes.
You're begging the Lord to let you, and things like that shows up. And so I totally get it, especially if it's a gene pool thing, and then you're going, okay, so you got what I got, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pass that one on to you. Because I watched my mom with my own health journey do something similar at the age of 11. So I kind of know. And ironically, you mentioned right where I grew up in Santa Cruz. So a neat experience I had there once to know that I was supposed to stay alive and be here and on this journey, listening to yours. Oh my gosh, the emotions that I'm feeling too. And it is what you prayed into it. and you
Mhm.
saw it before it even appeared, and then it
Mhm.
appeared, and then you shared it, and she had enough faith in you and this, that look at where you are now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Heidi, I didn't mean to take
Yeah,
you
and
back,
I just
but
want to say, don't judge somebody because they might look healthy. Because Jesselyn, a lot of time growing up, people didn't know she was sick. Her friends did not know. She hides it very, very well. On social
Sure.
media, it's hidden. Every way it's hidden. And I would remember picking her up from a youth group, like Christmas party. And I was inside for about 10 minutes watching and just everybody having a great time. And she looked like she was having a great time. But the minute she gets in the car, like just doubled over crying and just crying. I'm like, what? And she's talked about how miserable she felt. And it just is so hard, just seeing her, even when she should be, going enjoying 15 16 and going to prom and just enjoying, and instead she's just so worried all the time. When they wanted to put tubes down her nose and feed her that way for a long time, she's like, Mom, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, I'm not going to make you. That it was just so hard to watch her go through all that. So to see her now is an absolute miracle. And she won the monthly challenge, and then she won the quarterly challenge, and she got to take her and her husband to Costa Rica. Like, she would have never been able to afford that with their ministry jobs and things like that, but because she was committed to her health and faith in the company, faith in the products, faith in mama, to put her on these, and stuck with it and had these amazing results. She is just loving it. And I know she's sharing it with people, and, it's so fun to have my daughter. I've always dreamed of having my daughter with me, alongside me in business, and I know that, she's going to continue and, start sharing it more, as she has time. So it's a dream come true.
what a legacy
Win,
you're both
right?
building. What a legacy, for real. Thank you.
Yes.
So Jesselyn, how do you feel you're showing up different in life now? I mean, we kind of heard a list of them, but to you, what is the biggest takeaway? And I know it's hard. Like, once you're removed, you kind of forget those pain points. We forget how bad it was. And every once in a while, it's like you can have little reminders of things, if it's events or memories or that kind of take us back. But enough about all of that. Just how are you showing up now? What is your biggest takeaway, your biggest lesson? And just how you're showing up differently in life. I mean, we all see it. Your story is amazing. And it's known. I mean, like, you're one of the best body winners. Your story shared there about just the journey that you've been on, and it's profound.
I
Profound.
show up for myself now. I have a love and appreciation for my body. That's the total opposite. And that's what's so different, is when you have confidence and you learn to appreciate your body and you do things because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself, show up differently in every single other part of your life. Because an insecure person can't take care of somebody else. An insecure person can't encourage other people. An insecure person can't work their way up at a job. I mean, an insecure person can't show up in life the way that we were intended to. And that's where I started to show up for myself. I currently hold an over full-time job.
Wow.
While surgery and working out every single morning. Actually, tonight I worked out after because I took a little longer to get ready this morning. But I worked a 9-hour day in a medical facility doing social work, which sucks. But I still came home and had energy to work out. I couldn't do that when I was working 3 days a week. Couldn't. And now I have energy and I sleep through the night. I used to wake really easy. My husband could like breathe loud and I'd be like, gosh. And now I don't wake up at all during the night. I sleep like a rock. And that is a huge difference, is being able to sleep like a solid 7 to 8 hours every single night. My head hits the hay like at 9:30, and then I'm up at like 6:30 and I'm good to go.
Lovely. Oh,
Or it's like magic. I don't know what.
How does your husband describe your journey? Because he's been along throughout all of this, right? When the
Yeah.
old Jesselyn and the new Jesselyn, what's it
Yeah.
been like for him?
I don't know. I'd have to ask him. He's in the shower though. But I know for a fact that whenever he talks about the difference, he does talk about how I'm here more, like emotionally and physically available and not insecure. And he's always wanted that for me. Even when we were dating, he was like, I wish you would just stop putting yourself down. And I wasn't even thinking about it when I would say negative things about myself. And now he's like, you're just so confident and like secure you are. And like, and he notices that. And he notices that I'm strong and I'm not unhealthy anymore.
I have a little story. I remember when Jesselyn called me one day and she told me she wore heels to work. And for her, Jesselyn has had bad problems with her feet. She's had surgery on her feet. She has pins in her feet and her ankles. And for her to be able to, you tell Jesselyn.
So, my like joints, I've always had issues, a lot of issues. And I could never
A lot of broken bones.
Oh yeah, found lots of issues. But I have built so much muscle mass since being on Zalevo that, so my shoulder used to be able to just pop out of place, just pop all the time out of place. I mean, my hips and everything. And that doesn't happen anymore because I could twist and like fall off some stairs and I feel like my body would be okay because I just have built so much muscle mass that everything feels so strong. And so I started wearing heels.
Oh my gosh.
And they feel
You're tired of the shoe queen. I respect that.
And I'm already 5'10". So I put on heels and I'm taller than everyone around me and it feels so good.
I love that.
You
I love that.
They're so strong in those heels. It's incredible. I could run in them. I'm like, man.
I love that. What a beautiful example. You know, something little like that you probably think about, dream about. You know, what girl doesn't want to wear a pair of heels? You know, but what a beautiful, I think, ending. Like that's amazing. That's a victory right there. That's a victory. Oh, I love it.
totally. Have you listened to enough of the explanations of what it is you're putting in your body with that Ultra 30 shake, with those 30 grams of the best protein, the 3 different types of minerals that are needed to help all of that be assimilated, and that being the thing that's missing in most of our diets anyway? Suddenly you got 3 times the amount, the enzymes that are there to break them down and carry them out to the body, all of those things that are working in harmony. And then you add something like the collagen. It's going to absolutely do miracles to your bones,
yes,
your ligaments, your tendons, your joints, all of those things. And both of these products are anti-inflammatory. In other words, they help with inflammation, which creates the discomfort. And when that comes down, gosh, you sleep deeper and better. And when the glands and organs get working right, because your GI tract was probably the first thing that started straightening out for you, with the introduction of the Ultra 30, with the introduction of those 2 biomes that you probably were taking, which are your probiotics. And then if you threw the collagen in there, all of those things that get through that shouldn't get through in a too big of package are broken down correctly, and now they're being utilized by the organs and glands that create your ability to sleep at night, that all important melatonin, because there's glands that produce that. They produce and are able to build you with more of your dopamine and all of the things that our brain is capable of doing to self-heal, take down the inflammation and allow your body. You are so right with one of the things you said. Lack of sleep will break the body down faster than any other thing, because all the energy goes to the body to try to sustain the brain just to stay awake when you haven't had sleep. And then the way that prisoners of war are interrogated, if they want to break down, say, a Navy SEAL, and I mean, this is a guy who's trained to take the worst kind of punishment, they will deny him sleep for 72 hours. 72 hours causes his body, every cell in his body, to scream and yell for, just let me fall asleep. And they end up falling on the floor crying. That's how easy they are to break. This is crazy, but most people don't realize it's that sleep cycle that everything regenerates. That's when you're building back your muscle mass, your bone mass, your brain power, everything else. So you're so right on. The big cause that amplifies whatever the disorder was that lack of sleep and never a time for it to repair. And so suddenly when you were getting that good deep sleep, then you're getting all the building blocks to build the muscle mass, the ligaments, tendons, the bones, the teeth, even fingernails and hair. All of those things are absolutely incredible. And I can see you got some guns sitting there. So I am,
Guns.
look, both of you do. Look at you guys.
See,
I've
that's the
never
gene
had-
pool too.
I've never had this
Absolutely.
long a hair. Look at this.
Oh
Just
my
since
gosh.
collagen.
That is so cool, you
Since
guys.
first grade, my hair has not been this long.
Oh
It's
my
gorgeous.
word.
Yeah,
Ladies, you
I
are
couldn't
the
even believe it.
example of what these products do for anybody who is willing to take just one challenge, put it in your mouth and watch what happens.
And I
And
just,
every
Jim,
one of
hearing
these
you,
products. Anyway,
hearing you say that, it's like, I want to stress to people out there that think that, oh, health and wellness, or, these, nutraceutical supplement, vitamins, there's just so many out there, and sometimes, just misinformation, or I've tried a million other things before and nothing has worked for me.
Yeah.
It, like Cindy in the last ditch effort, it's like, it's worth a try. And to, I think, to see Jesselyn and how just broken down her body was. And yes, she experienced, crazy results, very, very quickly once her body was able to heal. But we've seen that on the whole spectrum, with people that are, maybe not healthy and younger, or are much older, in their older years, and their bodies are broken down and, hurting and desperate for healing. It doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, nor that you have to reach this ultra health. I mean, you're going to get there, but it's baby steps, and it's simply putting these amazing formulations in your body and unlocking the miracle of the body. Like you said, we are a body of regeneration. It wants to heal itself. It wants to sleep. It wants to, bless.
You add a couple of more dimensions. Why in the world, after being on some incredible products myself for like 18 years, and they were the best of the best during those 18 years, why would I leave such a thing, especially with the legacy income that I produced, to come here? Do you realize why? These have never been put together like this. There's only like basically 7, 8 products, but they are a world class above anything that is even close to what they are capable of helping us with. And when the body receives that quality of nutrition that is so desperately needed by it, we see what we would call the miracle happen. The body responds. It gives us back what we've been looking for on this journey for years. And with mother's tears in her eyes, getting to witness this miracle, boy, do I know that from firsthand experience with my own wife being alive today, with my children and grandchildren not needing to go to the doctor except for their annual checkup. Things that just don't occur with the majority of people who don't have this nutrition to put. And if you can imagine, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old comes to grandpa and says, can you make me one of those chocolate super good tasting foods? And the other one says, no, I like the vanilla better. So I have to, 2 blenders going at the same time, or 2 shakers, whatever. That is a home run for a parent or a grandparent.
Absolutely.
You're not kidding. With both of my kids, it's like, just start your day with this. Just get this in your body. Then mama has the peace of mind of knowing that all of that amazing goodness is going to work. And whatever you want to eat for the rest of the day, which once this is in their body, they're automatically making better choices because their body is not craving the things they're deficient in. So it's beautiful. Cora either wants her pink shake or her black shake every day. Strawberry or chocolate for that one.
Yeah.
That is so
Ladies,
beautiful.
yes, we're so appreciative of your time and you guys coming on here tonight and just sharing both of your incredible journeys with us. Jesselyn, your testimony is something else, my dear. And
It's over the top for people who are struggling with their health and have had that long, long journey of not being able to find it. And then suddenly and rapidly a change up that, thank goodness you stayed open to, and that your mom prayed into your lives, and that she was open to, even though she had good things. I mean, there's obviously, you've gone through a lot of things that probably have kept you here, at least alive, but you go from survival mode to thrive mode. And it is hard to remember what it was like to survive only after you've felt this good for months. And I would ask you your time frame. How long have you been using the Solevo products?
In a year.
Yeah, last year I
18 months.
started in January. Technically, December of 2020, when I visited my mom for Christmas, she gave me a little bit to go home with. And then I was hooked.
Well, bless those little samples.
Yes, bless those samples. I was hooked. She gave me a shake when I was there for Christmas, and I'm like, uh-oh.
when are you sending more, Mom? When are you sending more?
Yeah, Mom sent me some other
I know, and I paid for them for a long time until now she's working full time. She can afford them herself. So guess what? She's paid for them now.
More miracles in everybody's life, including
those shakes are amazing.
Oh, aren't they though?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite product? I was going to ask you that. If you
I mean, I love the shakes because they keep me going. And at work, I'll get busy and I'll just make up a shake. And I'm good to go.
Awesome. How about you, Cindy?
Oh, definitely shakes, but now I'm just love the collagen. I can't imagine a day without it. It's helped my skin, aging. I was just so dry and feeling shriveled up here in the desert and, 53 years old and just getting way more wrinkles and all the wrinkles, and just seeing it that. And then just it's hydrated my skin more, firmed it more, helped my nails and hair grow more. So women, as we're aging, I even started a YouTube channel called Aging Joyfully with Cindy Talley RN. And then eventually, it's only been about 2 weeks in the making. So just talking to women over 40 in the aging process, some of the things we're going through. And one of the things is that, getting those wrinkles and starting to look older, it's hard. I'm accepting it more and more. And I know I deserve every gray hair, which I color it, but every gray hair when they do start coming in, and I deserve every wrinkle from everything that I've gone through. So, I just look at that.
Beautiful It's beautiful, but there's nothing wrong with slowing down the process. of it,
Right. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
definitely.
we're over time, you guys, but Jesselyn, we
Okay.
had a request in the chat that you close us out with a verse of a song.
What do you,
Whatever you want.
man, it's funny, my dog's here cheering me on.
Yes,
That's
he does.
perfect.
Let's see. Mom, what do you want?
What do you want, honey?
Oh my goodness, I get put on the spot.
I don't know. It is well with my soul, or one of yours. What about, I don't know, something you sing regularly that just pops into your head? Doesn't matter. I like them all.
Let's see. Oh, this one's good. Okay, let's see. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. You've been blessed with a beautiful voice and the bravery to sing a cappella on the spot. Okay, some of my kids would have said, Dad, I'll sing, but you're dead when this thing's turned on. So that bravery comes right through. You glow, girl. And as your mother does. Every lady on this call is going to be envious of your mother's long, beautiful hair. So they're going to probably be ordering extra collagen.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to close us out
Absolutely.
with anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank all of you and Jesselyn and Cindy just for being here and giving us your time and blessing us with, your amazing story. And everybody on Your Next Level Starts Here who tuned in to watch and support us tonight. Thank you. And we'll be back next Wednesday, guys.
Yes,
For another
we will. You all
WWW.
know.
Thank you,
Thank
Have a
you
blessed night.
all.
Bye,
We'll
everyone.
close out in Robert fashion with Force for Good.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Force for
Force for
Good.
good.
Love you all. Thank you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
all. Incredible.